Hello, namaste, my dear students. How are you? Are you all right? Great. That's great. So, yeah, I'm also fine. So, today, you know what we are going to read? Yeah, that's a grammar topic that today we are going to learn. Can you turn on the page number 246 in your book? Can you guess what we are going to learn today? Yes. Without for your inquiry, I'm going to here show you the topic that we are going to discuss today. That is relative clause. You can check it, relative clause. And then after, we discuss another topic, that is relative pronoun. Do you know what is it all about? Do you have an idea what is a relative clause and what is a relative pronoun? Yes, don't worry. I'm going to describe this today with example. So don't worry about that. So the topic that we are going to read is now concept of relative clause. Then after relative pronoun, clauses in its types. Yeah, of course. Then we also discuss this topic, types of clauses. You can see types of clauses. There are two types of clauses I'm going to describe right after. Okay, so and then after we discuss how to recognize a relative clause from the given sentence. Then after, fill the gaps with relative pronouns. Then join the pair of sentences with relative pronouns. That means you need to join two sentences with relative pronoun. So without delay, let's know about this concept, relative clause. You can see a relative clause is a type of dependent clause that modifies a noun or a noun phrase. It describes, identifies, or gives further information about a noun. Relative clauses are introduced by relative pronouns. Clear? Yeah. It's about a dependent clause. Now you might be thinking about what is dependent clause? Dependent clause is incomplete sentence that requires another parts to be complete, to be meaningful. And also this relative clause also describes, identifies, and gives extra information, gives further information about a noun. Okay, now let's have an example of relative clause. See, let's read this example. The boy who wears a red hat is my brother. In this example, who wears a red hat is the relative clause, modifying the noun the boy. That means, my dear students, this relative clause gives extra information to this noun the boy. It gives extra further information. Who wears a red hat is the relative clause, modifying the noun the boy. So I hope you understand it. Any queries, any questions? Please don't be shy to raise a question. I will be really happy to answer your questions. Then after, we need to discuss what is relative pronoun. Let's see, the author who wrote this book won an award. Here, who is the relative pronoun that introduces the relative clause who wrote this book. That means now you have to understand that the particular word that gives extra information that connects the clause is called relative pronoun, referring to the here author. Author means here noun. That means the word which relates or which gives extra information to the noun is called relative pronoun. See here, who is the relative pronoun that introduces the relative clause who wrote this book, referring to the author. That means who means here the author. That means who is now referring to the author. Author means noun. Okay, you have of course understood this concept. And then after we discuss relative pronoun again, a relative pronoun is a word that introduces a relative clause and refers to an antecedent. Antecedent. Have you heard this word before? Let's see. Antecedent. It means the noun or noun phrase that the clause modifies. The most common relative pronoun in English are, you can see, these are the most common relative pronoun in English language. Who, whose, whom. These all things referring person. Which, that. Which, that, it refers things. Which, that, referring things. When, referring time. Where, referring place. But I know that most of the students like you are confused about this referring person, these relative pronouns. Who, whose, whom. Don't worry, I'll show a word card that basically explains more about this. Let's see. Who. Who. In Nepali, it's jo, ko. Who. Understand? Very good. Then after, another. Don't worry, another is, see, whom. In Nepali, jasलाई, kasलाई. Whom. And then after, another is whose. Okay, again, please see who. Jo, ko in Nepali. Whom. Jasलाई, kasलाई. Whose. In Nepali, jasko, kasku. Because why I'm showing you this, my dear students, because most of the students like you are confused about these three relative pronouns, because these looks are quite same and you might be confused which one is to be better to use in particular situation. That's why I would like to request you to understand the basic concept about this who, whom and whose. Are you okay? Any confusion? Well, very good. So now you have understood about this concept of relative pronouns. This which and that, it's easy. It's for things, and when it's for time, and where it's for place. Let's see another example. Difference between who, whom and whose. I just show here. You understand? You understand? And who. It is a subject pronoun referred to the subject of a sentence. It is used to ask about the identity of a person or people. For what case who is used? Now this is a concept, basic definition. You have to understand what do you mean by who, okay? Let's see an example. Who made this cake? In this example, who is used to ask a question. Understand? In this example, who is used to ask the question. Likewise, another example, it was John who fixed the car. Means here, who is not question here. Who is now relating to this person John, okay? Who is now referring to the noun John. Understand? Because who can play two roles here. Let's see another pronoun whom. What is whom? I just show the word card that you have to understand. It is an object pronoun. It is an object pronoun used to refer to the object of a sentence. The person who is receiving the action. Whom. Can you recall what I told you? Whom? Jasलाई, कसलाई in Nepali, whom. So it means that the person who is receiving the action, it is used to refer to the object of sentence, in fact, but not all the case, but in most case it used to refer to the object of the sentence, of a sentence. Let's see the example. Whom did you invite to the party? Whom? Kasलाई. Whom did you invite to the party? See, in this example, whom is now referring as questions. But in second example, whom is now referring to the person here. She has a friend. She has a friend whom she meets every Friday. She has a friend whom she meets every Friday. Let's see another relative pronoun, whose. It is a possessive pronoun. Do you know possessive, my dear students? Possessive, now belonging, possessive of person, my house, your house, his, these are the possessive, okay? Used to indicate ownership of or belonging, ownership that is related to a person, belongings or person's ownership, that is whose. Possessive, for example, my, your, him, these are also called possessive. Here whose is possessive. Can you remember what I just saw in the word card? Whose means? Please guess it. Yeah, that's right. Very good. That's right. Jasko, Kasko. In Kasko, if you say Kasko, that is question, and if you say Jasko, that is now joining. Okay. So let's see the example. Whose notebook is this? Whose notebook is this? This is here question. Whose is used here. Here is a question. That is the artist whose paintings are exhibited at the gallery. That is the artist whose paintings were exhibited at the gallery. In this example, whose is now joining, which is now working as now referring to this artist, not a question here. Whose means artist, okay? Whose painting? Artist painting. Here is now, it shows the possessiveness. Let's see other example of relative pronoun here. Let's see this another example. The smartphone which I bought yesterday was very expensive. Again, I want to read. The smartphone which I bought yesterday was very expensive. Here, which is the relative pronoun that introduces the relative clause. Which I bought yesterday. You know, which I bought yesterday is the relative clause. And if you say which only, that is relative pronoun. Are you clear? If you say which only, that is relative pronoun. If you say which I bought yesterday, is the relative clause. You know, my dear students, clause means your group of words that constitute a sentence. Clause. You might have been confused what the teacher is telling clause means. Clause means, don't confuse that scooter or bike clause, okay? That's not clause. That clause means here, in this grammar topic, clause means here, group of words that constitute, that are used to form a sentence. That is called clause. There are two types of clause. I'm going to describe, don't worry about that. Yeah, now we discuss now here, see, types of clause. Can you tell me how many types of clause are there? Can you tell me how many types of clause are there? Don't know? Okay, I'm going to describe here. Before that, before describing the types of clause, you must know what is clause. It's not a motorcycle or scooter clause, okay? Now, clause. A clause is a group of words that contains both a subject and a predicate. Predicate, it's new for you? No, it's not new for you. Predicate means here A verb with or without object is called predicate. If predicate means sometime only verb and sometime verb and object is called predicate. Clauses can be independent and dependent. Now you understand there are two types of clauses. Understand? Independent and dependent. What do you know about this clause? Do you have any idea what is independent and dependent clause? Wait, don't worry about that. I'm going to describe it for you. So, yeah, of course, independent clause, also referred as main clause. Independent clause is called main clause, or it is also called principal clause. An independent clause can stand alone as sentence because it contains a complete thought. You understand? An independent clause give a complete meaning, complete sense. It has subject, it has verb, it has object as well, and it can give complete thought or complete meaning. That is called independent clause. That is called main clause. Okay? It is also called the principal clause. It has a subject and a predicate. Again, predicate. Understand? Predicate means a verb with or without object. It means it has a subject, a verb, and an object. Okay? And forms a complete thought and meaning. It can forms a complete form, complete thought and meaning. That means independent clause is a very meaningful sentence with complete meaning, complete thought that also follow the subject verb object pattern. That is called independent clause. Just remember simple present tense, just remember simple past tense, just remember simple future tense. These all are the example of independent clause because they are complete by itself, because it has given a complete thought and complete meaning. Understand? Well, very good. Now, okay, my dear students, I want to give you an example of independent clause. Can you assume? Can you tell a sentence that contains subject, verb, object? That gives a complete meaning? Can you try? Please tell a sentence with subject, verb, and object. Yes, it's very easy. Don't worry about that. You know, if you remember simple present tense, if you remember simple past tense, any other things, that is also independent clause. Let's see an example. She runs every morning. You know, she runs every morning. It gives complete thought, complete meaning. The birds are flying. You can see, they help the poor people. They help the poor people. So these three sentences here are giving complete sense, complete meaning, a complete thought. It is meaningful by itself because it forms the grammatical structure of subject, verb, and object. Sometimes subject and verb also gives a complete meaning. For example, the birds fly. The birds are flying. You can see there is no object here, but it is complete because flying is also predicate. I told you, remember that. Predicate means what? A verb with or without object. There is no necessary that object is there in every sentence. There is no necessary. Without object also a sentence can be complete. Okay? The birds are flying. They help the poor people. Understand? Yeah, these are the example of independent clause. Now we are going to discuss about the dependent clause. See, dependent clause also referred as subordinate clause. Yeah, subordinate clause means incomplete, okay? Incomplete clause. Or dependent clause cannot stand alone as a sentence because it does not express a complete thought. It is not complete by itself. It doesn't give complete meaning. There is lacking something, okay, my dear students? The sentence is not complete. There is lacking something, and that's why it is a dependent clause. It is not complete. There is no complete grammatical structure. There is no SPO pattern. That's why it is called dependent. You know, dependent means depend to other. It is not survive without others. That is called dependent. So dependent clause cannot stand alone as a sentence because it does not express a complete thought or complete meaning. It also contains a subject and a verb, but it needs to be attached to an independent clause to make sense and meaning. That means it is very necessary. It is necessary to join or to attach with independent clause. That means to make a complete meaning, to make a complete thought, there is another clause required. That clause is independent clause. So then only after in the presence of independent clause, then it is complete. It is not complete by itself. To give a complete meaning, to give a complete thought, it needs what? Can you guess? It needs an independent clause. It often begins with subordinating conjunction and relative pronoun such as if, although, since, who, which, when, that, etc. These are the relative pronoun. So to make the sentence meaningful, to make the sentence complete, then it requires some relative pronouns such as if, although, since, who, which, when, that, etc. So let's see the example. Dependent clause also referred as subordinate clause. Example: the scientist who won the Nobel Prize is giving a lecture tonight. You can see I have underlined here who won the Nobel Prize. If you wipe out this all things, then if you say who won the Nobel Prize only, it is not complete meaningful. Understand? To give meaningful, another part is required. That part is what? That part is independent clause. Another sentence: the car which was parked on the street was towed away. Towed away. Do you know meaning of towed away? Pulled away by the traffic or some security person. Okay. Towed away. The car which was parked on the street was towed away. So this underline part is dependent clause. And the car was, if you say that the car was towed away, this is independent clause. In first example, the scientist is giving a lecture tonight, it is complete by itself. If you wipe this part also, this is complete. If you wipe this part also, this is complete sentence. I remember the day when we first met. If you say I remember the day, that is complete, because I remember the day, it's a independent clause. It has followed subject verb object pattern. When we first meet, if you say when we first meet only, then it does not give the complete thought or complete meaning. So now this is the difference between dependent clause and independent clause. So my dear student, please turn the page in your book Grammar I, page number 246 to 247. There is a dialogue between Swikriti and Abdul. What is the question A? Read the conversation below and underline the relative clause used in it. Now you can easily underline because you know the concept. I have described what is relative clause and what is relative pronoun just before. Now I hope you can easily recognize that clause and underline that. Let's read it out. Okay. Swikriti: Abdul, look at this photo. Abdul, look at this photo. Abdul: is this Sahara, the girl who plays the piano? Swikriti: no, this is Rima, the girl who won the singing competition last year. Abdul: I know her. She is the girl who has long brown hair. So in this dialogue, conversation, can you recognize or can you underline the relative clause? Remember what I told just before. Relative clause means the part of sentence that is linked by relative pronoun. Understand? Relative clause means the part of sentence that is linked by a relative pronoun. Here, there is no relative pronoun in the first line. In the second line, say, is this Sahara, the girl who plays the piano? Can you guess it? What is the relative clause in this sentence? Try this one. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, you are right. Yeah, of course. Here you can see who plays the piano is the relative clause. That's good. You are very clever, my dear students. Very good. What's your name? Oh, great. That's great. Very good. Let's see in the second dialogue here, third lines here. No, this is Rima, the girl who won the singing competition last year. Okay, you can try this one. Please try this one. With what is relative clause here? Can you recognize and underline? Yeah, very good. That's the who won the singing competition last year is the relative clause in this sentence. Okay, and third one, now you can easily guess that who has long brown hair is the relative clause here. Okay, that's great. Let's turn to the exercise B. Okay, my dear student, turn the page 247 in your textbook. Fill in the gaps with the correct relative pronouns here. I admired the player. I admired the player. Performance was fantastic. Can you guess? Tell me please. Who? Okay, I'll give the clue. Who, whom, whose. Okay, guess what is the right answer? Whose. Very good. That's the right. Second, which. Why it's which? Because juice is a liquid matter. In this case, we can use which. Third, it's also which because problem is it's not person. That's why you can use which. And fourth, farmer, my mother. So again, you cannot confuse in which, when, and where because it's easy. But most of you might be confused to who, whom, and whose. So in that case, I'll elaborate more. My mother, can you guess? Yeah, who is a farmer, grows a lot of vegetable. You are my friend, I want to sit with. See, again, can you guess it? Yeah, that's right, whom I want to sit with. Whom? You are my friend, whom I want to sit with means, sitting to that friend, okay? It's a possessive pronoun here, possessive object. And question of, I want to help those children, economic condition is very bad. Yeah, economic condition, again here possessive. Guess it? Yeah, that's whose. Very good. And third one is where because it's a place, okay? That place indicates where. A mobile phone, you can easily recognize which or that you can easily guess it. Which I bought 6 years ago is still working. And it was in 2015 time. Remember that I have presented a table just before. Remember time? Yeah, when? Very good. When the earthquake hit Nepal badly. Marima is a wonderful lady. Yeah, again, whom, whose? Again, can guess it? Yeah, whom everyone can trust. So let's turn exercise C. Join the following pair of sentences as in the example. Turn the page 246 in your textbook. There is example also given. The same example here there are 2 examples here and that is also given in your textbook. I was a girl robbed by fate. I had neither the sweetness nor the joy of life. I was the girl robbed by fate who had neither the sweetness nor joy of life. Here is a who joined the 2 part of sentence because it indicates this noun, a girl. Okay. Second example, The mother who bore me, she also taught me values. The mother who bore me also taught me values. Okay, these are the example that are given in your textbook. Now you need to turn some exercise of question C. See this first example, question A. The letter reached me this morning. My friend sent it from abroad. The letter which, letter of this is a thing, okay, you have to use which in that case. The letter which my friend sent from abroad reached me this morning. Another question, this is the palace Bhimsen built it. Can you, it's again thing, okay, palace, thing. This is the palace that Bhimsen built. Okay, let's see question C. The boy committed cybercrime. The judge sent him to jail. The boy, person. It's easy for you, okay? Can you try? Yeah, that's right. The boy who committed cybercrime was sent to jail by the judge. You have to quite rewrite the sentence in your own way, okay? He is a liar. You should not believe him. Yeah, can you tell me what is the relative pronoun used in this pair of sentence? Yeah, he is a liar who you should not believe. Very good. And question E, I know an artist. He moves with an artificial leg. I know an artist. Again, this person, you can easily guess. Can you tell me? Yeah, it's very easy, you can easily guess it. Yeah, it's a who, okay? I know an artist who moves with an artificial leg. And bring me that file. The file is about our new project. Bring me that file which is about our new project, because its file is an thing, okay? That's why you have to use which. Which, or you can say sometime that also you can use, because these are the similar. We met a girl. The girl had lost her way. We met a girl who had lost her way. Yeah, and again there are some questions. Question yes. I saw a soldier. His bravery impressed everyone. Here is a possessive. I'm giving a clue to you. Possessive pronoun, okay? What is now here? Who, whom, whose? Yeah, that's right. That's correct. I saw a soldier whose bravery impressed everyone. See another question. Once upon a time, there lived a giant in a forest. Nobody dared to go there. A place, forest means a place, okay? You can remember in place which relative pronoun can we use? Yeah, where? Very good. That's where. Once upon a time, there lived a giant in a forest where nobody dared to go. And the question J, the dog took away the ball. The kids were playing it. Yeah, you can, it's thing. You can use which or that, whatever. The dog took away the ball that the kids were playing. Okay, my dear student, now the exercise is almost over. Again, you need to write in your note copy as well. Some mixed exercise I'm going to describe here. There are few questions here. So, you have to discuss in the class. The girl who lives in the village, as you know, you have to identify the relative clause. In this sentence, who lives in the village is relative clause. In the second question, this is my favorite book which I bought last year is the relative clause. In third example, when the coronavirus engulfed the world. Engulf means surround, engulf the world. And fourth example, whose project won the award will here. Whose project won the award? This is the relative clause. And another example, those artists whom we meet yesterday. This is relative clause. If you say relative pronoun, in this first example, who is a relative pronoun? Second example, which is a relative pronoun? Third example, when is the relative pronoun? And fourth question example, here whose is a relative pronoun, and the last example here, whom is a relative pronoun. Similarly, now here you have to discuss some time in the class. The woman, what is the woman? The woman, who? Yeah, here is who. Do you believe in the present situation? Possessive. Remember, you have to use possessive. Can you guess? Who? No. Who do you believe? Whose do you believe? No. Whom do you believe? Yeah, you have to use whom do you believe. Here is a phone. Here is the phone. You can use which or that as well. The children, here you can use who. The girl. Here again, girl's father. Remember that it's a possessive here in the last example. The girl's father. The girl, whose father? You have to say whose father here. So you need to also write these things in your note copy as well, and remember the concept. Now it's time to end the class. Our time, I think our time is almost over. Okay, without a few minutes now left, I'm going to give the assignment to you. Please do this in your note copy. I don't need his help. His motives are really critical. Join with relative pronoun. You have to join the sentence with appropriate relative pronoun. Second, this is the place many people committed suicide. Again, here you have to fill appropriate relative pronoun in this question. Question C, write 5 relative pronouns. Please write 5 relative pronouns in question C. And question D, complete all exercise what we discussed today in your note copy. That's right? Okay, very good. Now, very good. Now, thank you for your patience. It's a good class. I really appreciate your patience and your engagement in the class is really wonderful. I really appreciate you, and I would like to see you in the next class. Till then, have a nice day. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Thank you.